So Tan Ajahn Gamon started off by asking for permission from Lumpur Anan and Lumpur Somchai, the senior monks, the monastic sangha, to speak on the Dhamma. Also extended his greetings to all of the laity listening. So today it's a special opportunity that we have, this period of coming together to express our gladness and our gratitude for Lumpur Anan on the occasion of his 69th birthday that is going to come up on the 31st of March, as we're all well aware. So this year, like the last, there's also an online meditation retreat as well. But in previous times, when I was staying here, living here at the monastery, things weren't like they are now. That we would have this occasion of gathering together for Lumpur Anan's birthday, and there would be the abbots of the branch monasteries and the monks living there who would gather together, as well as many lay followers. So gather together on the 30th. On the night of the 30th, there'd be Parita chanting. And then on the morning of the 31st, there will be the formal ceremony of paying respects to Lumpur Anan. And then after that, everyone would disperse. So come together like this for just 2 days to have this chanting. And then Lumpur Anan on the 30th, after the chanting, he would give a Dhamma talk, and then there'd be various other monks who would teach on the Dhamma. And sometimes these talks would go on all night, or other times would go until 2 a.m. or 3 a.m., depending upon the causes and conditions at that time. And so I'll let you know of this, because maybe some of you went around, but you can get an idea of what it was like. So we didn't have the technology back then like we do now. And the people who gathered together, it wasn't a huge amount. There's maybe 70, 80, perhaps 100 people. But things have changed now following time. And we have this technology to allow many people to come together. So maybe we travel here through technology, and it's much easier for people who live overseas. They can join through while staying in their own countries. And so this is a very good use of technology. So last night, I was having a Dhamma discussion with Lumpur Anan, and he was explaining that during the time of Lumpur Cha, that there was one senior monk who was a disciple of Lumpur Cha. And he had kind of made the determination through his gratitude for Lumpur Cha that on the occasion of Lumpur Cha's birthday, Ajahn Chah's birthday, that he wouldn't lie down for that night. And also on his own birthday, he wouldn't lie down that night either. So he would spend that night of Ajahn Chah's birthday to pay homage through his practice of the Dhamma for his teacher. And so this was a good story that Tan Ajahn Anan told me last night. So we've all gathered together, and perhaps we have dukkha, or this pain or suffering in our minds, disease in our hearts, or pain in the body. And we may have asked for the barami, the spiritual power of the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha, of the Kruba Ajahns, the spiritual masters of Luang Por Anan. And if I've experienced this as well, of asking for his barami, for the spiritual power. And we have this faith that he has this metta, this loving kindness that knows no bounds. And many people would have experienced this, would have experienced his kindness and how that can be able to solve the problems that we face. And so that our bodies and minds become better, there's less suffering in them. But he's also explained that the best thing that a teacher can give their students is the Dhamma. And this is what we use to reduce the suffering that we feel. And the suffering, the extent that that's reduced depends upon our mindfulness and our wisdom. So we have this good opportunity now to gather together. Perhaps we've asked for his barami to help us. And we've also prepared offerings to give to him on his birthday. But what we can really give to him is the homage of our practice. That we start from this day, the start of this retreat, and go on until the end of the retreat. And perhaps we come and practice online, or perhaps we come to practice in the monastery. And there are many people from many different countries who have come here. And so we all have the opportunity then, the opportunity to give our Dhamma practice as homage. This goes above and beyond any material offerings that we may have prepared. So we give these offerings and offer our practice and thanks towards him. And then we, as his students, that we get the full results of that homage. Because really he doesn't want these kind of little things from us, but rather we use them to grow in faith. And it's not a huge amount of time. It's the 28th of March to the 2nd of April. Maybe we've worked a lot and we can feel quite tired, but still we come together to show our gratitude in practicing the Dhamma. And so this is a very important time and a good opportunity that we've gotten to develop goodness. Because sometimes if we're just practicing by ourselves, we don't have any Dhamma friends to practice with, no great teacher to practice under, who is right there with us, who can point out where we've gone wrong, who can give us guidance. Then perhaps we may get lazy, perhaps we may feel discouraged, and we're not so strict in looking after our mindfulness and in developing the energy of our samadhi. And so we use the special opportunity that we have now to come together and practice together, to cultivate our faith and offer this homage of practice as well. And this also works to develop ourselves. And so it is a special time and special opportunity. So we put in our efforts during this time. And we also listen to his Dhamma talks. So as he has said during the talks, that the taste of the Dhamma is better than all other tastes. So perhaps we can recollect some times that we've listened to his Dharma talks, and that's gone really deeply into our hearts. Maybe there's some suffering that we've been going through, and we've wanted to ask him about it, but we don't yet get the opportunity to ask. And he gives a Dharma talk, and it's like he's answering all of our questions. That particular topic, that particular issue comes right out in the Dharma talk. And probably many of us have experienced that, and I too have experience with that as well. So this shows the parami that he has, that's always ready to help his students. It's always wanting for his students to teach them in order for them to grow in sila, samadhi, and panya, and this virtue, collectedness, and wisdom, using his wisdom to help us. So perhaps we can recollect the energy of his metta as well. Maybe an opportunity that we've had to meet him, experience the metta that he has, this loving kindness. And recollect these Dharma teachings and how the taste of the Dhamma is superior to all other tastes. Because the taste that we get from food, the food that we have every day, that the happiness from that is just on the tip of our tongues. And once we eat it a number of times, then we get fed up with it. But it's the taste of the Dhamma that can really go deep into our hearts. And we can get a happiness from that that you can't compare with other things. So we have this opportunity now to practice. And so we should set our hearts on that as well, on using this time well. For those who have the chance, then you should participate fully in this course, right from the beginning of the morning chanting at 5 a.m. until the morning session that finishes at 10, and then the afternoon session, and then the evening session. Because this is a special chance that we have. It's a very valuable chance. So we should use this well. So I've been asked to share some views so that we grow in faith. And so may all of you have the sincerity to join in this retreat to your fullest. And really the ones who gain the benefit from that is ourselves. So if people care for the Dhamma then comes back to care for them, to protect them. And the suffering that we have in our body and mind reduces. So we can recollect the goodness of the Triple Gem, starting off with the Buddha, and then the Dhamma that we practice in line with. Then there's the Sangha, the awakened beings that we have great respect for, all the way down to Lumpur Anan, that we've received his kindness and his parami many times already. So we have the special opportunity now to repay his goodness with our material offerings and also with our practice of the Dhamma. So may all of you grow in the Dhamma.